All right, Alex, thanks for coming today.
Thanks for fitting me in. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, looking forward to the lesson today. So tell me a little bit. I know you want to work on short game. What are some things that you want to work on? Obviously, you're a pretty good player. So what are some self-diagnosis? What do you need to work on?
Yeah, so I mean, I can definitely tell you that the weakest part of my golf game as a whole is the short game. I can then narrow it down from there, and it's really tight lies around the greens. 30 yards and in is kind of definitely where I see a weakness. I've lost total confidence when it comes to tight lie shots, and I got all kinds of misses. I'll hit it heavy, I'll hit it thin across the green, and I'm just not too sure what the right way to go about this for me is at this point, and that is why I've come to you today to kind of see if we can change my technique a little bit, if it needs to be changed,
Okay.
and just improve around the greens.
Do you think it's more mental than technique, or do you think it's more technique?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I think initially it probably was a technique thing. I grew up kind of being a digger and having the handle ahead. I became obsessed with using the bounce and trying to use the bounce and learning that kind of myself without anyone's real help. And now it's become probably mostly mental at this point, because I shy away from 30 yards and in shots as much as possible when I'm out on the golf course.
Okay, so mostly tight lies. Do you have any problems out of like a first cut lie or the rough or when you open the face, anything like that?
Yeah, so I prefer to be in the rough at this point. It's gotten to that point where I've just lost all confidence, and having a shot like this where we're kind of below the level of the surface, tight lie, and I can't really putt it from here. So all the issues are just tight lies. I have no problem with rough and having a little bit of cushion underneath the golf ball.
Would you say that you're using your putter more often because of the lack of confidence?
Correct, yeah. And I just know that I can, with a putter, make no worse than a 5, where if I bring out a 60 or a sandwich or a 9-iron to chip, I feel like I could almost bring double into play. So yes, definitely more putter from off the green.
Okay, and then a couple questions before we get started. Do you have any injuries? Can you pinpoint any injury that you had or anything like that?
Yeah, no injuries. Physically pretty healthy.
Yeah.
Right now, mentally is the only thing that's really
so it's more mental. Okay, so no physical injuries.
Correct.
You feel pretty good. Technique might be in question, but really just lost confidence around the greens.
Yep.
And from 30 and in.
30 and in. Yep.
Okay. So the way I like to start most of my lessons is I like to watch you hit a couple shots. I'm going to video you. I'm going to video you face on. I'm going to video you down the line. I'm going to watch what you do now, and I'm really going to try to use what you do best and just kind of make simple, subtle changes to see if we can fix this without doing any kind of major surgery. So right now I'm just going to watch you hit a couple balls.
Okay.
We'll get the camera running, watch you hit a couple balls, and then we'll kind of dive into the lesson.
Yeah, perfect.
All right, sounds
Sounds
good.
great.
Let's get started.